Gail Stumphauzer was in the 1995 Leadership Lorain County class. She noticed something.
Loretta Carrick was the director at that time, and I just thought she had the best job in the county.
A year and a half later, Loretta retired, and Gail was named director, leaving a 25-year career in healthcare behind. For 14 years, Gail led Leadership Lorain County and left a few notable signatures.
Our class project was the youth inclusion, so it was my class that introduced high school students into the program. Next to that, I have to honestly say that I believe the creation of the Difference Makers Gala certainly has left its mark, because it offered the community an opportunity to meet and hear the stories of some of our greatest leaders, and I believe it served as encouragement to people to get involved, because not everybody has some dramatic story about how they made their mark on the community. Often it's just people doing what they're talented at and getting involved in things that they care about, and it's made a huge difference.
And so has leadership. Over 1,000 people have gone through the program. You'll find alumni in Make a Difference positions all across Lorain County.
I have met so many wonderful, talented, gracious, generous people. You know, my job was to expose them to the county, but really I learned so much from everybody that participated, and I feel like I, certainly multiplied my circle of friends enormously every year. So it will always, always be one of the biggest blessings in my life.
Who is Gail Stumphauzer? Who is the woman who asked you to come to your first retreat and introduce yourself with symbols of your past? Gail grew up in Lorain, the youngest of 4 children. Her folks ran their own family-style restaurant. It was warm and inviting. She graduated from Clairview College at the University of Akron, and in 1968 she married Ken. Gail was 21.
We actually met in high school, and my husband Ken's sister and I were very good friends, and she always tells the story about how, we would get together at my house and at her house, and pretty soon I was paying more attention to her brother than I was to her.
There is so much joy, innocence, and hope. It's good, and it was needed. Early in their journey together in life, Ken was sent to Vietnam to serve his country. That was hard. But life brought them twin boys when Gail was 25. Then life took them away shortly after their birth.
And so it was early in our marriage that we learned to stand together and support one another. As a very young person, it makes you reflect in a way that many people don't do until they're quite a bit older, quite a bit farther down the line.
Gail and Ken have 6 children. This is Margot.
Margot was the baby of the family. From the time she was very little, she had a very generous spirit.
If our lives can truly be marked or shared through symbols, maybe Gail Stumphauzer's symbols are bookends, foundations that hold it all together. Gail's bookends are the children that she has lost, her oldest and her youngest. How can that be? How can loss as tragic as a child, be a strength? This is Margot's story.
She was very clever, funny, but her gift really was that she noticed people. She paid attention. She noticed their gifts. She could tell when they needed an encouraging word.
Margot yearned to help others, but found it hard to help herself. She was sensitive from a very young age and struggled with feelings of self-worth. Her battle began with bulimia and anorexia, and over time her body was challenged to its end. Margot, beautiful, was 29 when Gail lost her.
Looking back on it, I just think somehow there's an inner knowing that we have, and maybe Margot somehow knew that she would not be in this world a really long time. But we had conversations that were very different. She wanted to know everything about what I thought and what I cared about and why. We kept journals together. Looking back on that, those were all gifts that I didn't realize at the time how valuable that would be. I felt like I knew her well, and I felt like she knew me well, and she knew that I loved her, and I knew that she loved me.
Gail wanted to honor her youngest child with a simple day. Gail's friends encouraged her to look at Margot's passing in a much bigger way. Born was Margot's Free to Be project.
The project is one that creates, I'm going to say, creative activities and conversation for women and girls to explore their innermost feelings and to grow in understanding that we are good enough just the way we are. And it's been a blessing for me because it's given me something positive to work on. I feel like I'm still doing something for Margot. And in a way, I feel like I'm doing what she might have done had she lived. So she would be saying, "Go, Mom." So I know she would be happy. What I would want to encourage is for people to walk this life with their eyes open, not just for themselves, but for others, noticing how they feel and lending encouragement, lending a helping hand, because you never know. The smallest gesture on your part can make a huge difference in someone else's life.
Margot's Free to Be project could help save a life. Its reach, its possibilities are endless, and its leader is strong and solid like the bookends that have helped hold life together. Gail's are her children, and inside those bookends, she finds the family she fights for.
Here's the other thing, I have 3 living, wonderful children, and I have 3 wonderful grandchildren, and probably some more to come. And I want them to learn from me. I want them to look back and learn from the way that I lived my life.
Gail Stumphauzer, the 2013 Eric Nord Honoree for Excellence in Leadership.